Hi Capricorn. My name is Kristen Sloan Hansen and welcome to SeaGoat Secrets. Hi Capricorn. So I briefly wanted to touch on the Capricorn Pluto transits and what they mean for you. I'm going to kind of mention them on a bit of a global scale as well in terms of how they affected the other signs, but not too much. I'm going to try to ground it strictly with you, Capricorn. To begin, in terms of understanding Capricorn Pluto as a general whole, pertaining to the world and then how it also related to you. So there was this interesting misconception that the Capricorn Pluto was this amazing transit for Capricorn, which it was not. You were meant to be tried and tested for 15 years. While Pluto was in your sign, it was all about transformation, it was all about growth. And in fact, the things that come the most natural to Capricorn in more of a stereotypical sense were made to come more difficultly to you. And a part of that was so that you could grow and evolve and frankly become a much better, truer Capricorn and the essence of really who Capricorn really is and what it is that you have to offer. I like to say that what the Pluto does for us as signs or as people is it takes all of our ego self, because your sun sign is your ego self, right? So if we're doing it pertaining to just simply the sun sign, it takes all of our ego selves and it kills us. You know, you go through multiple ego deaths through your Pluto transit, and it's really trying to make and mold you and create you into a truer, more authentic version of who you are meant to be. And it takes away what's easy and aligns you with what's more difficult. It robs you of taking the easy route out. So a great example is when you look at many of the people that were very successful during the Capricorn Pluto transit. Many of them were not Capricorns. Now, you see a lot of Capricorns that were quite successful before the Capricorn Pluto transit, and especially in the beginning years of the transit, that first like 3 to 4, 5 year threshold, and then at a certain point, many of them just, fell flat. And it doesn't mean that the Pluto transit automatically means that you're going to not be able to be successful, because there are also people like Jeff Bezos, right, or Bezos, who is a Capricorn, who through this Pluto transit rose to billionaire status. It's just a matter of how you use it. And him being a billionaire, he uses astrology quite well, and I'm not sure if he uses tarot, but I definitely know there isn't one billionaire that I know of, at least, that doesn't align themselves with the astrological alignments. So like myself, they can navigate their finances and their lives based around the transits. But for many people, they didn't necessarily understand the kind of transformation that they were under, and it just felt like they were being tried and tested. Capricorn Pluto is trying to refine you. Pluto is robbing you of that which is easy and making it so that you go the route that you're specifically supposed to take. So with Capricorn Pluto, we saw a lot of people who were not Capricorn suns able to navigate Capricorn Pluto in a way that really worked for them. And I think if we reference celebrities that were very big during the Capricorn Pluto transit, you see a similarity, which is hard work gets the success. And I know that sounds so stereotypical, right? Or more stereotypically, I would say American in terms of the United States, because the United States has this slogan that's like, through hard work you get what which is an illusion of a Cancer country, but I digress. Cancer is in the sign. But what we saw was the return on the investments of hard work and grit. And that was very big during this 15-year transit. So if you look at various celebrities, we saw the rise of the person from the trenches, the rise of the trenches. And I guess when I think about this, I'm a global citizen, so I'm thinking of multiple places and multiple celebrities from many different places, but I'll try to just center it with the US, because the entire world pretty much can reference the same things when you're talking about the US in terms of celebrities, so I will just kind of try to stick it there. But we saw the rise of people from the trenches. So when you look at things like music that's based on the trenches, which is, for the United States, rap music, we saw the rise of rap music taking center stage and being the kind of genre that pretty much was outweighing all the other genres. And you would think, you know, stereotypically Capricorn is this sophisticate, so why would something as raw and uncouth as rap music be something that is taking center stage during the Pluto and Capricorn transit? Well, multiple things. One, Capricorn represents karma, so anything that was down was then up, right? Anything that was taboo then became center stage. And then also, Capricorn also represents coming from the bottom and reaching the top. So anyone that can climb that ladder, climb that mountain, started from the bottom, now we're here, more rap references, right? That entire concept reigned supreme during the Capricorn-Pluto transit. And it was showing us that, again, through hard work, through hustle, and through grit, you were able to achieve what it is that you would like. You saw surgeries, the bigger the body, the better the body. That is another thing with the darker side, or the shadow side of Capricorn energy, which is Capricorn is still Earth, you know. So it's about a thicker, earthy body, right? Thick lower body. The bottom in general is very prominent for Capricorn. If you look at the average Capricorn woman, her body tends to be quite slender. And if you look at the average, but there's something round about her lower body. If you look at the average Capricorn man, he's usually attracted to someone with a rounder lower body. So that tends to be a thing when you're dealing with the shadow side of Capricorn energy, the emphasis on the body and making sure it exudes devil energy, making sure it exudes extreme sexuality, extreme sexual enticement. So there's that. The bigger the better, very prominent in shadow Capricorn energy. It's all about big, it's all about, you know, again, a lot of materialism, a lot of money. We also saw that whole idea of sexuality being able to really create a lot of financial generation for people. Again, devil energy, that's the shadow side of Capricorn. Exploitation being at a really great way to reach success. We also saw the ability for people to create illusions around themselves in order to reach success. So again, I reference surgeries, I reference plastic surgeries, Instagram models, I don't know, Photoshop and stuff like that. Those are really big shadow Capricorn energies because it's all about hustle. So Capricorn is not necessarily, in its shadow space, is not about refinement. It's not about naturally being good at something or natural looks or natural talent. It's about just hustling and through grit being able to achieve your goals. So it doesn't matter if you have actual talent. Not to say that the talent is subjective, but it's saying that as long as you are being consistent, as long as you're being hardworking, as long as you are hustling and focused on your status and focused on your materialism, then you will win. You will succeed. You don't need to be beautiful as long as you are willing to put in the work to Photoshop the photo, to be consistent, to show up on Instagram or to show up on your pages or whatever it may be, then you will win. Money and materialism was a big thing in the shadow of Capricorn. So those are the more like easy, social, shallow aspects. We have some darker ones, obviously, like authority and institutions, law and order, governance, things like that. Capricorn represents a lot when it comes to society in the Pluto transit, but I'm going to try to ignore that and just try to keep it very personal and specific to you, the individual, so that you can grow and evolve yourself, because it's I first, I in another second, and I in the world third, right? And my job is to help you with the I and I relationship. So yeah, so those are more of those things that we saw happening, and on the shadow side of things. And so for a lot of you guys being Capricorns, you were faced with the shadow of Pluto because it was meant to be in your shadow as you are governed by Capricorn. So this is bringing you through transformation. So the shadow sides of it you were very aware of, and that awareness of it was made to make it so that you stayed in the light. So I've seen countless Capricorns try to do the things that were coming a little bit easier to others during this transit, but they were forced to take the higher route, or forced to look at it differently. Things that should have come easy to them did not. And the reason why is because you were being prepared for the Aqua and Pluto transit. The Aqua and Pluto transit is big for you, Capricorn, because you're trendsetters during this time. You are leaders during this time. You are major financial successors during this time. You are showing, the Pluto and Aqua transit is when you show the world exactly how it's done. It's time for you to show everyone what you learned during your transformational time, who it is that you became, how you navigate your finances and navigate this new world, and what it is that works in this new world financially versus what worked in the old world, especially during the Aqua and Saturn transit over the past 3 years. Many of you were forced into scarcity so that you could learn how to navigate Pluto and Aquarius, which is a difficult time in terms of resources and abundance for the world at large, and we're seeing it now in terms of inflation. 1 second, I'm cooking. Okay, and now I'm back. I'm sorry, I'm really, really hungry. But back to the video. When we saw all of these things about coming out of the bottom and reaching the top, it was the universe's way of preparing us for what Pluto and Aquarius is going to be like, because Pluto and Aquarius is about the people. So it is the rise of those who are downtrodden, being leaders, those who were once at the bottom, again, being at the top, but in a different way. So in Pluto and Capricorn, if we look at the same pop culture references, we see people that through hustle, materialism, grit, dog eat dog, step on anyone, do whatever it is you have to do in order to hustle, to reach whatever it is that you want to reach and go wherever it is you need to go. Again, through that shadow Capricorn energy, that same narrative with shadow Pluto energy is going to be about people who do it through a different lens. So not through grit and through hard work, but through their identities in the shadow aspect. So it could be situations which we already kind of was seeing through, as we're in the kind of the moments leading up to the Pluto and Aquarius transit. You're starting to see more leaders that are more inclusive, more diverse. You're seeing people want diversion and inclusion more organically, more naturally. These are things that are very common of the shadow Pluto and Aquarius. Now, shadow is not a bad thing. And when I'm talking about the rise and the fall, or from the bottom to the top, shadow of Capricorn, I'm not saying that shadow is not bad. It is not Just like light is not good, it just both are one and the same. It's just two different energies. And we still haven't addressed the light side of the Capricorn Pluto yet. And when I get into it, you'll understand what I mean. But the shadow of Aqua is just really a person's simple difference, or their identities, something very small like that. Like me, you know, I have like, my body is very different because I have a various small nevuses, right, on my skin. And I've had, you know, different partners say how beautiful they were, right? Things like that, you know, models being able to be successful simply because of something like what I have, or people wanting to vote for someone simply because of their identities. As complex as their genetic makeup or their political makeup, the more popular and the more successful they will be. In the shadow aspect, the lighter side is something that requires more originality, something that through not necessarily hard work in the same way, but through honest work, through authentic integrity. So instead of it being in the most low vibrational way with aqua energy, it is, I'm going to shave my head and pierce a huge bar through my nose, and that'll make me successful in the age of aqua. That's shadow aqua. Light aqua is, I'm going to create an entire business based on sustainability. I'm going to heal the world's oceans. I'm going to create a very unique product that is beneficial for not only myself, but for the world at large. That is light-sided aqua energy. It is choosing a mayor, not just because of their genetic makeup or their political identity, but because of their character and the depths of who they are, and their genetic makeup can be in addition to that, right? So things like that. With the light side of Capricorn Pluto was seeing people who created through hard work and through grit, inspired people, because what it is that they were working on and what it is that they were creating was refinement. They were like, even again, like Jeff Bezos, right? It's like creating something that was beneficial on multiple planes through the Capricorn lens. So when you look at Amazon, it's very much a Pluto Capricorn business, and evolves into a Pluto and Aqua business as well. Because when you look at it from the Pluto Capricorn perspective, here is Amazon. It took on a whole different light depending on the Pluto transit. It started, I believe, during this, I don't remember when it started, but I do know it was alive during the Pluto Sagittarius transit. And in Pluto and Sagittarius, you know, again, we saw a lot of, most of the big time celebrities during that time were actually Sagittariuses, like Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera. But what you saw as well was the idea of exoticism, travel, low-rise jeans. Again, shadow Sagittarius energy. Everyone wanted to kind of look like they were worldly, right? Christina Aguilera would have a tan one day. Look, you know, it's, again, Sagittarius. We see it with Generation Z. They want to be as exotic as possible, or as multi-layered, I guess, as possible, to give off that Sagittarian kind of energy, as well as education, knowledge, belief systems. And Amazon during the Pluto and Sagittarius era was about books. It was about reading. It was about knowledge. It was about the expansion of the mind. And then as it went into Pluto and Capricorn, it evolved, and it grew into being the kind of business that built other businesses. So while this Amazon grew during the transit of its owner, which was, this Capricorn owner who evolved during Pluto and Capricorn. He had to grow, and he grew by listening to the transits. Pluto and Capricorn was telling him to grow his business and expand his business beyond the small mind that he had at the time when he first created it. Capricorn is still about material wealth. Because money is a big part of Capricorn energy, a successful business for the collective human under the guise of Capricorn would be something that makes it so that other people can also give themselves financial wealth. And that is when you have the highest elevation of what Capricorn represents. Because Capricorn is not, in its shadow aspects, is materialistic, but in its light aspects, it's about substance, it's about depth, it's about truth, it's about authenticity. It is about staying power. It is about honesty, integrity, things like that. And when you look at a profitable Capricorn business, it is not just something that's money for the sake of money. It is something that can give to everyone. When you look at a good Capricorn leader, they lead with the idea that you can also achieve their goal. You can have what it is that they have. They give you this feeling of inspiration. And because Capricorn is the one that builds the foundation, builds the castle, builds the land, creates the world that we live in, it is meant to be there for everyone. It is Gaia, right? Virgo is the service. Taurus is the planter. Capricorn is the builder. Capricorn is the architect. And when you look at the way Amazon grew, it then grew into being a Capricorn Pluto business. And it's something that gives back to everyone. People are able to create their own businesses underneath this business. You can't get any more light-sided Capricorn than that. And they did it through, yes, it takes hard work to run an Amazon-based business, but it's not the kind of hard work that is as dark as Capricorn can go, because Capricorn is one of the darkest signs, right? And it can get really scary there, pertaining to things like power and what we will do for money, what it is that we will do to gain power, to gain status, to gain material. With Amazon, it is the light-sided Capricorn energy, because it's simply saying you have to have good ideas. You have to know what it is that you desire. It's passive income, which again is light-sided Capricorn energy. When a Capricorn evolves beyond hard work and they swim into ease and grace, magicianship. Capricorn reaches its highest elevation when it understands magicianship more than it does the hard work of the lugging, right? It's not Taurus. Taurus is pick it up, put it down, plant it in the ground. Capricorn is about magicianship. It is about understanding the magic of manifestation through merging the earth and the water. And Amazon was able to create that for people, was able to generate that for people. And I'm sure that in the Pluto Aquarius transit, either it'll crumble if it's not, if it doesn't have proper integrity. Most things will crumble that do not have integrity. A lot of truths will be revealed. The age of Aquarius in general is about truths being revealed, about things far beyond our earth. We're going to learn a lot about the world around us and the universe around us, historical secrets, political secrets, human identity. But during the Pluto Aqua transit, that's when it's going to be on a more direct political level, meaning the obsession with truths hidden within our education systems, secrets about colonialism, secrets about how the world became the way that it did, truths about what the world was like when it was ruled by indigenous cultures versus now, different things like that. It's going to really get the people going. And obviously the Pluto Aquarius transit is a lot about the people versus those in power, and switching what power looks like and who it looks like, and all of these things. But again, the lightest elevation of Pluto and Aqua is, what are we doing for our world? What are we doing for each other? What are we, rebels with or without a cause, is more the shadow aspects of Aqua. The lighter sides of Aqua is about neither rebellion, it's more about the uniqueness being uniqueness because it comes with originality and it comes with truth, which is why Aqua comes after Capricorn. Because when we're looking at the leaders that will fall or rise and fall during the Pluto and Aqua transit, they are people that we are measuring based on their authenticity, their integrity, their truth. Who are you really, right? And you can't hide behind your materials like you could in Pluto and Capricorn. You can't hide behind your status. And that is why Capricorns themselves have been tested during their Pluto and Capricorn transit to become people of truth, authenticity, integrity, because you're meant to be leaders during this time, big time trendsetters, leaders, etc. Especially in terms of healers, spiritual teachers, and all of the above, which is why so many Capricorns have been going through such a big transformation, because you're ready to align with your purposes and your paths, and actually here to help people and help them navigate this Pluto and Aqua transit, while Aquariuses themselves are going through what you just went through, which is change, transformation, growth. It's hard to be the leader when you're under the coal, right? Which is what happened to you guys. So yeah, it's getting quite dark where I am, so I'm gonna cut this video short for now, and I'm sorry, but I will create a part two where I dive. I think I covered a lot about Capricorn and Aqua in a more practical sense, or a human sense, the best way I could, so far at least. Nonetheless, thank you again. I love you. Ciao.